nice to see you again. How's school going? How's your family?
School is pretty stressful, but it has been a good semester overall. My family's doing really well too.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Tell your mom and dad I say hello. How are you feeling since our last visit?
Well, Dr. Bowling, unfortunately things haven't been improving much since we last met. I have been really tired and fatigued. I have been urinating frequently and I think I have lost a substantial amount of weight.
Okay, is there anything going on at home that could be causing any sort of excess stress on you? Any sort of environmental or social influences such as school or with friends?
I don't think life has been more stressful than usual. The rest of my life is actually going really great, besides the fact that I'm not feeling well.
Okay, Ileana, let's go ahead and go over the results of your hemoglobin A1C test we ran last week. So your glycohemoglobin levels seem to be particularly high. This is prevalent in people who have abnormally high blood glucose levels. Don't be too alarmed, but with high levels of blood glucose and glycohemoglobin, it looks like I need to inform you that you have diabetes.
Diabetes? How is that even possible? What am I going to do?
It's a genetic disease, so you were born with it, and the morbidity rate in Americans is around 8% annually, so it's not too uncommon. Your symptoms have become more prevalent lately. Fortunately, you are young and have many options that can help you live a fairly normal and healthy life. First off, you're going to have to be conscious that you are eating a healthy, well-balanced diet. Medically, the rest is up to you and what your insurance will cover. You can manually regulate and inject insulin when needed, or you can have an automatic insulin pump, or you can receive stem cell treatments to rebuild beta-1 cells in your pancreas. However, the first two options require a lot more self-discipline and self-regulation as compared to stem cell therapy. I know this is a lot to take in, so here are some informational pamphlets that will tell you more about each option. After you've taken in all of this information I just gave you, please make an appointment with this specialist. I think it would be beneficial for you and your family to further discuss details and educate yourself with the specialist to ensure you receive continuous and effective care. You should also call me and let me know what you decide so that I can stay in the loop with your health.
Can this lead to any other problems?
Unfortunately, if left untreated, type 1 diabetes can have some significant effects on your health. In the short term, you could have fatigue and the weakening of muscles. In times of low blood sugar, your body will switch over from glycolysis to ketogenesis. This is breaking down your muscles' proteins to form energy for your body. This can result in metabolic acidosis, where your blood pH becomes slightly acidic. This, in the long run, can be fatal because your body can't function at this pH.
Thank you for letting me know all that information.
Of course, I must go, but call me if you have any more questions or concerns. I'd like to schedule a checkup with you after you have discussed all of the options with your parents and specialists. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the near future.
Thanks.
Hey, sweetie. How did your appointment with Dr. Bowling go?
It was educational, but unfortunately she diagnosed me with type 1 diabetes.
Diabetes? No healthy daughter of mine has that fat person's disease.
What's going on here?
I went to see Dr. Bowling today and she diagnosed me with type 1 diabetes. She talked about a few different options that I have to help treat it and help me live a normal and healthy life.
How did this happen? I just don't understand. You're so healthy.
I didn't do anything. Type 1 diabetes is a genetic disease, something beyond my control. As I was saying, the doctor suggested a few ways for me to approach this. On one hand, I could take the active approach with the regular injections of insulin to match my meals or to get an insulin pump to monitor my insulin levels for me. Alternatively, I could try an injection of stem cells into my pancreas to try and make new cells that will produce insulin for me.
Stem cells? I don't like that. It's not very natural and probably very dangerous if you ask me.
Don't stem cells come from aborted fetuses? That doesn't sound like something I want my daughter getting into.
Yes, I agree with your mother. That is not a good idea. It is against what we believe in. And I don't know how you could consider something like this, Ileana.
Actually, Dr. Bowling said that we have stem cells throughout our bodies and that they can use those stem cells to help me.
What do you mean they're everywhere? I don't understand.
I'm not completely sure. That's just what Dr. Bowling told me. I didn't really ask any questions, mostly just let her talk and inform me of all my options. Could we please go to see the specialist to get more information?
I guess we can see what the specialist has to say, but I think we all know that the insulin shots or pump is cheaper and more ethical in my opinion than using stem cell from aborted children.
Okay, I guess. See,
Gotcha.
Hey, Ileana.
hi.
Hey, I know Mom and Dad are totally against the stem cell treatment, but I really think that you should consider all of your options. I've been studying induced pluripotent stem cells all semester at school, and I think it's your best option. Through a series of chemical treatments, a somatic or adult stem cell can be converted into an embryonic stem cell.
I honestly think that this is the treatment that would be best for me, but I don't think Mom and Dad will ever go for it. As soon as they hear the words stem cells, they'll freak out and go all religious on me. But if what you're saying is true, these stem cells have nothing to do with embryos and aborted children, so I don't see the issue. They also seem like they will be most effective treatment for me as long as I continually see the doctor for checkups.
The ethical issues are no longer driven by whether the use of embryonic stem cells is okay, but rather if you are okay with the medical intervention. There is a negative stigma around stem cells, but the truth is many people are just not accurately informed about where they come from.
Thank you for telling me about it. It really means a lot to me, especially since you know so much more than I do.
Don't worry, since Dad has a great job, we have awesome insurance that gives us access to some of the best care. You are in a better situation than many people, and even though type 1 diabetes isn't fully treatable, you have a great social network between the family and all of your friends. You can always come talk to me about this. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Hello, Liana.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Shall we just jump right in?
Yeah.
How have you and your family been discussing moving forward with your diabetes treatment?
Well, sir, I was hoping you could educate us all more about the stem cell treatment.
But we would also love to hear about the insulin pump. We're leaning towards that option.
Yes, we're quite skeptical and don't think stem cell treatment is ethical or right for our daughter.
Well, what we would do is basically take a small tissue sample from Ileana and isolate her somatic or adult stem cells. So we're not dealing with isolated cells from a fetus. I want you guys to understand that. These cells will be reprogrammed and made into embryonic-like stem cells. At this point, we would convert these into pancreatic beta cells. There are now functional pancreatic beta cells, meaning that they would produce insulin normally. Once we have tested that these cells are functioning properly, we will inject them over a certain period of time into her body. From there, since this is still an experimental treatment, I will want to see her back 1 month from now to check that her body is adapting to the new treatment. We may or may not have to increase dosage, for example.
It sort of sounds like if we support stem cells, it could one day lead to cloning people. I think we can all agree that is wrong.
While some stem cell therapy involves cloning cells, cloning a whole human is a matter of genetics over stem cells. Moreover, every single authority in medicine and law has made human cloning illegal.
Well, see, doctor, I still have an issue with how unnatural this whole thing is.
I understand your concern, but the process is actually quite natural. We take cells from your daughter and turn them into different cells that will make her better. In this way, we also drastically reduce the chances of an immune response. On that note, this is still an experimental process, only because stem cells are so recently discovered. The results are more than promising, and I am comfortable in saying that I think your daughter will be a good match in the experimental trial. I don't want the name to scare you. It simply means that it isn't FDA approved yet, and I wouldn't suggest this course of action for your daughter if I didn't believe that the stem cell therapy was the best and safest solution for your daughter's condition. Unfortunately for you, an experimental procedure means that it won't be covered by insurance, something else to certainly consider. And while insurance may cover a portion of the insulin pump or regular shots, those will not allow your daughter to live a worry-free life of this disease. She is still young, which is why I would suggest the more long-term fix.
We are not concerned about the price or that it is insured, but rather that it is a safe and ethical option for our daughter. From what you said, maybe these pluripotent stem cells aren't so bad. Yet I continue to hold concern about us messing around so much with medicine. It is too much like playing God.
And that is perhaps the only ethical issue that is subjective. I would argue that if you're concerned with us playing God, then you may not like the idea of insulin shots or a pump, because those are a result of vector cloning in bacteria. In medicine, we are just trying to make people healthy again. Without some form of treatment, this disease will be fatal for your daughter. Wherever you choose to draw your line is up to you. But I think this course of treatment will allow your daughter to go on and live a very normal life without having to be concerned with when she ate her last meal or if she remembered to take her insulin this morning.
Well, I personally object to stem cells, Ileana. I think this decision should be up to you. You're aware of all the facts and risks now, and your mother and I will support you either way. This is your decision.
Thanks, Dad.
Even though we are not completely in love with the idea, you are old enough to give and the informed consent, and therefore we support you.
After all of this, I've seen both sides of the ethical issue, and I feel that I can consent to stem cells. So, Doc Flock, how do we proceed from here?
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Immediately after the stem cell injection, we will continue to monitor you for a few days to make sure that there was no rejection of the cells, tumor formation, inflammation, or other complications. After that, you are free to go home. We will have monthly checkups to run some basic blood work and make sure that all is looking well. After a few months of that, you won't have to come see me anymore. Of course, you should run into any questions or concerns along the way. Do not hesitate to contact me, and we will see that that issue is solved. The tests are quite simple to confirm if the stem cells have differentiated into beta cells of the pancreas.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Fancy.
You know what we can do.
That was good!
Hello, Ileana. I'm Dr. Flock.
Pluripotent stem cells. From what you've said, maybe these pluripotent cells are so bad. Maybe these pluripotent
These pluripotent cells.
pluripotent stem cells.
Okay, this time for real.
From what you said, maybe these pluripotent stem cells.
Pluripotent.
From what you said, maybe these pluripotent stem cells aren't so bad. Yet I continue to hold concern about us messing around so much with medicine. It is too much like playing God.
And that is perhaps the only ethical issue that is objective. I would argue that if you're concerned with us,
You're old enough to make your own decisions, and your mom and I,
Your mum?
I don't feel stable, hold on.
I'm really proud of that.
Even though we are not completely in love with the idea, you are old enough to give and work consent, therefore we will support
What just happened?
Oh, you ready?
I had an idea. Have you ever seen Monty Python?
Yes.
Movie?
Wait, does this? Hey, does this start over after a certain amount of time?
I've been really tired and fatigued. I've been urinating frequently, and I think I have lost a substantial amount of weight.
So sorry.
God damn it! I'm not gonna say urinating frequently like 5 times for you, Spencer.
We are not concerned about the price or that it is insured, but rather that it is a safe and ethical.
Oh my.
Now it's okay.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Glycohemoglobin or something?
Glycohemoglobin?
Yeah.
Okay,
Glycohemoglobin.
Okay, ready? Great.
Sugar blood. Yeah.
Okay, wait, we need to redo that.
Okay, so the beep sound is like when it's going.
Okay, he beeps.
And then I go.
I mean, it's still wrong, so just whatever.
Okay.
I'll just edit this out.
Yeah, it is against what we believe in. I don't know how you shit. I'm sorry.